about half an hour, 40 minutes, 1 hour program,
and you'll have to
and you will have
spend
to
two
spend
days
2 days
on
on that
that
travel
travel
and all
and
that.
all that.
That is true, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. It's not why.
Fantastic.
That was commendable.
Very
Very
commendable.
commendable.
But a lot of people suffered also.
You had said. Coming if you have you have read those questions, right?
Yeah, I mean, I just had time to glance
Yes, yes.
glance through,
Yeah, ma'am. That's
and
great.
I think your next.
So, ma'am,
So
Of time, a dreamer of space, with galaxies etched in every trace. Our guest today seeks what lies afar, chasing the secrets of each distant star. With this, we welcome you all to the fourth season of Coffee with Calliope, a show where curiosity meets conversation, a show where we seek to inspire and push boundaries. The first episode is set to bring engaging discussions with one of the most brilliant minds of our time.
It is rightly said that the sky is not the limit, your mind is. Today, we have the privilege to have someone over who truly embodies this philosophy. Her mind, the compass, the universe, a playground. She has pushed the boundaries of the space science and opened new frontiers for the future generations to come. She is a woman whose work has not only reached the stars but also inspired countless others to reach for them. From starting her work at the Indian Space Research Organization in 1982 to becoming the first female satellite project director, she has seen it all.
She oversaw the launches of GSAT 12, GSAT 9, GSAT 17, and GSAT 18, and played a key role in the Indian remote sensing and navigation satellite programs. She was also a member of the well known Mars Orbiter mission team that sent a spacecraft into orbit around Mars in 2014. With numerous accolades under her belt, like the Space Gold Medal Award in 2003, Suman Sharma Award in 2011, ASI ISRO Merit Award, and ISRO Team Award in 2012, she has been inspiring us with her unwavering resolve and her love for space. So sit back, grab your cup of coffee, and join us as we dive into a fascinating journey with none other than Anuradha TK,
a
ma'am,
true
a
pioneer in
true
space
pioneer in
science.
space
We
science.
welcome
We
you, ma'am.
welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the entire team to have me here. It's my pleasure. I would like to have a wonderful conversation with all of you.
It is an honor for us, ma'am. So, ma'am, how has your day been so far?
Great. Bangalore, it's raining cats and dogs. So, cozily sitting at home, enjoying.
That's great. A nice weather is all it takes to lighten up the mood. And it
True.
is like truly an honor for us to have such a passionate and inspiring individual amongst us. So,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
ma'am.
much for having me. Yes.
Ma'am, talking about passion, when did you figure out what your true passion was? Like, was there anything specific that helped you realize it?
So actually, when you say true passion, it's something inherent, for my life, in my life, true passion has always been to just do good whatever you're doing. That's my passion. So probably I could have been anything. I would have tried to give my best in that, but it was maths and science which attracted me a lot when I was studying, and it became a passion to go deeper into those subjects and try to go beyond the textbooks. And I really fell in love with those subjects as much as I really loved literature too. But science attracted me more, and I pursued, and it was either to take up pure science or the application. I preferred application because I felt my aptitude was more on that side, and that's how I went for engineering. And during engineering, I came to know about ISRO, and it was so exciting. It was the dream of any young scientist, or I mean, science student or an engineering student, naturally, to dream about space and then, be part of whatever activities which are happening. So ISRO was my destination, and I stayed there all along as a student. Yes.
So before we go ahead with one thing that you are most proud of?
It's not one thing really, Subandhu. There were so many things which I was really proud of. Starting from the beginning, I was part of the first operational satellite, IRS 1A. We were so proud in developing first time many things for that satellite. And then, lot of satellites. Each one was so unique, made me feel proud. Technology experiment satellite, which had indigenous technologies, so many of them, nearly 16, 17 indigenous technologies. That was post Pokhran and also post Kargil. Post Pokhran, there was a lot of constraints for us to get things from abroad, and we dependent on doing a satellite, thinking that we are going to get those technologies for surveillance for India, for defense, but we were not getting because of post Pokhran. And it was a wonderful time that we made many indigenous technologies we put into that satellite, and it was a satellite way ahead of time indeed, and we were very proud of it. And we brought in new technologies, like for example, we had new propulsion system in one of the satellites, GSAT-9, called electric propulsion system. That was a great moment. And we built the biggest satellite, GSAT-11. And of course, I have been in communication and remote sensing and navigation satellite. And our science stream, I was not much part of it, but they were our proud moments too. We had mission to Mars, Chandrayaan, to moon, and landing on the moon. Each and everything has been so exciting and very, very proud, and especially in the end of my career, when I went as director Satcom, and where I had to deal with the end users. I felt so proud to know that all the work has culminated into day-to-day activities of each and every aspect of human life in India, and how we have been instrumental in bringing a great progress technologically to the nation, improving the life standards, whether it is fisheries or agriculture or forests or oceanography, town mapping, whatever, and linking corners of the India to the mainland. So this sort of each and everything was a very, very proud moment. I think every moment was very filled with pride for me when I was in ISRO, definitely. And even today, to think that I was part of it.
I'm hearing you telling about it makes me so proud. And like you have been such an integral part of growth of India's major technologies. I would like to ask you, what legacy would you like to pass on to the younger generation?
See, one thing is, if anybody wants to learn anything from us, one thing is we had, the great courage and, the enthusiasm to do things. That was undisturbed. Whatever problems come, whatever challenges come, we were there and we were ready to do that. And that is a legacy of ISRO, which it has been doing all the time since its birth. And that is a legacy that every youngster in the country, I wish they inherit, that come what may, I'm going to go achieve what I want to do. That's exactly what I can say, because I cannot say that I have a legacy. It is ISRO's legacy, which we also followed, and that's what I expect that children learn, youngsters learn from it. And nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible is a motto for anybody from ISRO, and that's what I would like to say.
Definitely, ma'am. I think the fact that we are here in talking on a meet that is live streaming, and it was maybe it was impossible a month ago, but we worked very hard to get you here and to get everything get done. And I think that sentence justifies this situation as well. So, ma'am, there is one more question. This question is a little bit personal question because I am very curious to know about it. So, what is one thing that people would be surprised to learn about the day-to-day life of a space scientist?
They'll be really surprised to know it will not be different from anybody else's life. It will be the same thing. And any scientist or technocrat's life is like any other person, which is going, any other neighbor's life which is going on. And we all have our families, we have our passions, we have our hobbies which we want to pursue. And at the same time, but one thing is, I'm sure it is so in many industries too, we have very long hours of working, and with full concentration we have to work. And we have to make a lot of setup domestically, make sure that everything is going on fine even when we are not there at home. And these things will be not necessarily for us, I suppose. Today if you see IT industries also, it is like that. Whoever is working, so whoever is in in a way, they are contributing with heart and soul. I think their lives will be very similar, whether it is technology or even if it is other fields. It will be the same thing. I don't think it will be much different, our life. I don't think we'll surprise anyone with our lives. In fact, it could be little boring.
Ma'am, I think it is great to know that even the greatest minds of India have a simple living just like the rest of us. So
It should
it makes
be.
us feel.
Ma'am, you have had such an impactful career, right? But like now that you have retired, I imagine things are a little bit different now. So, like, how would you describe yourself as the retired Anuradha ma'am versus the space scientist Anuradha ma'am?
Yeah, see, suddenly you see a lot of world outside other than what we were doing after retirement. And I still pursue my interest in what is happening, space industry and the activities of ISRO, what is happening. I pursue my interest and keep reading about those things. And I'm also pursuing hobbies which, were my childhood dreams, and I never had an opportunity to do, and now I'm pursuing. Along with small kids, I also learn few things. And I am totally enjoying this life too. And I think it's more of an attitude, like whatever we did with passion when we were not retired. I'm trying to do the same thing even after retirement with passion. Every small thing, I love pursuing my hobbies. And you know relations and meeting relations, and interacting with the students and youngsters, which is another one of my favorite hobbies. Like today I'm talking to all of you. It is wonderful to meet you all and see how you're all growing up. And at the same time, I also feel very proud to put in those thoughts into youngsters, that they too can do whatever they dream about. And India is doing exceedingly well post independence. The From where to where we have grown, I want that pride to set into the minds of youngsters. That is one of my uh, joyful hobby. And I don't say no to any student community who asks me to talk to them. I always do that. And that's one of the major things I've been doing. Otherwise, my personal hobbies, trying to learn things with along with small kids. Yeah.
That is incredible, ma'am. It's really inspiring to hear that you're, even after retirement, you're like connected with things you're passionate about. And we are really grateful to have you here today, that you've accepted our request to be on this platform and speak to so many students.
Thank you.
Mama, you mentioned you have free time and you're like pursuing new interest or interests that were there previously and you could not pursue them. Like, have you taken up any new projects, or could you talk more about these interests you have taken up outside of your professional work?
Oh yeah, I mean, you may not. You will be. This is what will surprise you. Know what I'm trying to do. A lot of things which I did not do when I was young, trying to sing and trying to learn some music and trying to put few steps, and trying to try out my hands on some craft work, trying to learn swimming and so many things. It's not one or two. I'm trying to do so many things. Yes.
That is fantastic, ma'am. It must be refreshing to like dive into new hobbies after.
Yeah, actually, you
Yes,
know
ma'am.
what? Just to continue the refreshment, I'm doing all this because being in ISRO was absolutely refreshing every day with new thoughts, new ideas, and the kind of work we were doing. I don't want to stop that fun even after retirement. So I have taken up non-professional many hobbies, along with reading, and which I'm pursuing, and then being with children and talking to them.
It's like connecting back to your own childhood self after retirement.
So well said. Yes, so well said.
So, ma'am, even after retirement, like you're staying connected, I'm sure you have been connected to the scientific community as you have mentioned, as it's important to you. So, how do you plan to remain involved with the scientific community moving forward now?
One thing is I'm following up on what is happening, and there are several conferences where I participate, and they invite me, and I am also being invited for several companies for some interactions, and I do that. So this is the way I've been doing it, and I don't have an active participation in the space programs now after my retirement, other than my own interest to pursue, uh, to update myself. I'm a member
That
of
is,
so many
yes,
journals and all that. I keep getting the journals, I keep reading. Yeah.
that is amazing, ma'am. It's wonderful to see that even post-retirement, you're having so much passion and you're being engaged with the scientific community. It's truly inspiring to see that. Mama, your career has undoubtedly been like filled with remarkable achievements, and I'm sure everyone watching knows them. But I'm sure there must have been like fun and memorable moments along the way as well while you worked. So, is there a particular moment that that still makes you smile thinking about it back then?
Oh yeah, every day we would have a lot of such fun times, and probably I can share one incident. It was little embarrassing for me, in fact. I was project director for GSAT 9, and we had to launch it on GSLV Mark 2. And at that point of time, there were several, two, three more satellites too, which were queued up for GSLV launch. And we were all vying that next GSLV should be ours, and each project director. And when we were doing it, probably I was little more forcible or whatever. So at the ISRO level, we had one important annual meeting, at which time the GSLV project director, he put his schedule with my satellite being shown on the first. Then chairman ISRO asked, what made you choose that? Then he spontaneously told, because Anuradha said. Then everybody laughed, and chairman at that time was Mr. Radha Krishnan, and he said, "You must listen to Radha Krishnan, not Anuradha." We had so much laughter, but at that time, I think my face was totally gone red, and I was totally embarrassed at that point of time. We have a lot of fun, and yeah, it will be a
It's
lot of
delightful to know
goes
them.
on, and
Yes.
it's nice. Day to day, there'll be a lot of fun. And we also used to have, non technical, and it's employee bonding programs, things like some cultural programs and all that. And somehow it so happened my team was real geek team, and we none of us could sing, none of us could dance, none of us could do any of those literary, and rest of the people would participate. Then we thought this year we have to give a program, and we practiced a song so much, and we thought previous day we will practice on the stage. We practiced it, and our friends whom we had called, they suggested you put the mic little away, it's too loud. Then we kept it away, and next day when we had the program, it came down, nobody's telling anything. Then we were wondering why, what happened. Then they said nobody heard what you sang. I think we were too much back from the mic, and nobody heard us.
Oh my God.
We used to have a lot of fun. It's not that it's not all work and no play. We had a lot of fun and a lot of good work, and even in the worst scenarios, we have enjoyed. We had gone for launches where temperatures were reaching -25, -30 in Russia. Even then, we had fun out. First time seeing the snow, and whichever is the condition, we had our work which we loved, and at the same time, given any environment, We had great friends. We would really enjoy those things. Yeah. Nothing
I
is
think it's
nothing is forgettable. Everything is always fresh in the memory. Very nice.
I think that happens when you love your work so much that you don't feel like working. You're just doing something you love.
Yes, yes. And work was a great time, great teamwork. And there itself, every day, something or the other, we would be laughing so much and having pleasure and have fun. And work was fun for us, yes.
I think for us laymen, the world of space exploration seems so serious. So it's really good to know that there's still room for humor and lightheartedness there, ma'am.
Yeah, when we are serious, we are serious. It's a serious business because you cannot afford to have even a simple mistake. Space will never forgive you. You know, the harsh environments in the space, you can't make a mistake. You cannot miss anything. So you have to be very intensely working. That is the reason you must also have vents, vent out your seriousness and be happy in the moments whenever possible. Shortest times we had gala time, and we would work intensely and have fun intensely both. Yes.
That is really delightful, ma'am.
It sounds like ISRO was a complete package of fun, work, everything, and it has been so important in our lives also. Like ISRO has impacted our country so much.
Sure.
And so, ma'am, talking about that, uh, I'm sure there were a lot of challenges that you faced for launching all the satellites. So, how did you tackle those?
See, challenges plenty because almost every project we take up is not run of the mill. There'll be something new added to that. In fact, given our limited resources and opportunities to make satellites or launches, we have to make sure that we pack quite a lot into that and always include something new also so that you are ready for the next step. So there is a lot of challenge, technical challenges, time management challenges, and people management challenges. We don't have too many people also. With limited people, we have to do those things. And challenges are there all the time, and that's what makes a life most interesting. So if I just take an example, I was telling you about GSAT 9. GSN9 itself, the scope of the project changed so much from just being a ordinary communication satellite to provide services to the SARC nations. So the entire satellite specifications and the configurations had to be changed in a very less time and make sure that technically it is still adaptable from whatever we had already made ready halfway through, and we had to make it happen. It means a lot more work and lot more intense activities that will go on. And similarly, I already told you about technology experiment satellite, such a big challenge that we had to indigenize so many technologies and bring in and make it happen. And there used to be, you also have seen one or two failures which are challenges to understand why the challenge is there and how to correct it and what did we learn from it. Huge challenges are there in every aspect of space business. And today we are taking up a very big challenge. Human space program is huge and you cannot fail. We have to make sure that everything goes well. How, it is enormous, the amount of preparation and all the readiness that has to go with that is enormous. So these are challenges which are part and parcel of space industry, and we are all so much accustomed to it, and we always talk in terms of if this fails, what is the next thing. We always have a backup option. It becomes part and parcel of life too. When we are trying to do something, if that fails even at home, so I will have a plan B to do. It becomes a second nature to you to be prepared for any eventualities and things like that. So challenges are there, and at the same time the organization keeps you prepared for challenges, and it offers you challenges so that life becomes really interesting and you can take it up and you can pursue, improve yourself. And at the same time, there is a system in ISRO, which will help you to cope up with the challenge too. You know, in terms of very methodical analysis, reviews, which go ahead, the challenges are met by all the teams in a wonderful way. Yeah,
Yes, I think being prepared and improvising is the forte of all the space
yeah,
scientists of ISRO.
continuously.
Yes. So, ma'am, what has been the most challenging project you've worked on at ISRO? And like, how did you and your team handle like such unexpected challenges?
I think just now I explained you these things. They were many of them were unexpected challenges only. You know, sudden change in specifications or failures are unexpected. You don't expect that something which is so routinely done can fail, despite all the care we have taken. And we had such challenges when we lost one communication satellite, and then when one of the heat shield did not open, and we lost one navigation satellite, and we had a big challenge that our huge satellite GSAT-11, it had already gone to South America for the launch pad, Kourou, French Guyana, and we had to get it back to implement something which we learned. And, it was not an easy task. And the challenges of putting the new technology. I'm telling my experience in communication satellites, navigation satellites. Of course, plenty of challenges in everything, whether Mangalyaan or moon missions, everywhere such challenges are there, and especially the science missions we have not even done earlier. For the first time we are doing, and you can't even exhaustively test it on ground, because the situation is not same as where you are planning to do that, right? So a lot of simulations and accuracies of the simulations matter, and going towards that perfection is a challenge all the time. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And so, ma'am, how do you like handle stress in such moments?
See, I don't think challenges should create a stress, first of all, because challenges should be handled in a systematic way. That's what I was trying to explain, that we are all tuned to that, to face the challenges. We are tuned to that. And we don't get into distress. We don't try to hide ourselves. No. Once the challenge comes, we are all ready with our swords taken away and go to the front line, and we try to solve it. We do it boldly, and system helps us with very methodical way of solving these problems. And each challenge is different. Nothing is same thing you cannot get two times. Then it's something wrong if you do the same mistake twice, right? So, or the if you say two times I'm facing the same challenge is not nice. That means you haven't understood. We don't leave any stone unturned until we understand that why this is a challenge, and how this should not be a challenge in future anymore. So that is the way we handle our challenges. We don't get stressed out. If we get stressed out, mistakes can happen, right?
Yes, ma'am, that sounds very inspiring. Like, even we as students, we take stress for little things that happen in our life. So, knowing that even like being a space scientist, when you face such challenges and like you have to deal with them so methodically, it really inspires us that we can do the same too.
Definitely, nothing like good preparation. So challenges are reduced. Stress is reduced even when the challenge is there.
Okay, Yashvi, enough with the serious talks. Ma'am mentioned that you have been following some hobbies, right? And you said that you like reading, singing, and music. I want to know, are there any books, movies, or works of art that have had a profound impact on your thinking of
Yeah.
life?
Yeah, I have been an ardent reader since my childhood. I mean, I can say, starting from childhood with all of you would have grown up with similar things with Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita, and my father he was professor in Sanskrit. He would enable us with lot of books, abridged versions of Shakespeare's, all in my, language, Kannada. We studied in our own mother tongue is the medium. And I was already introduced to a lot of such work, even as a child, through Kannada language itself. And then come teenage, I think I had read all the novels at that time in Kannada. Okay, I had already read, and there are works of even Sahitya Academy winners like Kuvempu and all, and we had read those things. And then only after I joined engineering, I started reading English novels and all. So where I started with Woodhouse, which was something I loved it. Such a sense of mild humor and ability to laugh at ourselves was something great. And then little more serious, I loved Richard Bach. Have you read any of Richard Bach's? That Jonathan Livingston Seagull. They are all old books. That power of realization, self-realization. And there's another beautiful book called Illusion. It gives the perceived realities and how your imaginations can constrain you yourself. There is no constraint. It's all perceived. It's in the image. Beautiful books. You must read such books. And there's another great author, Paulo Coelho. He's kind of philosophical, and he gives such strong messages. The best thing was Alchemist, where the relentless pursuit. Have you read that? He won't say he's an alchemist. He goes beyond, try to find out how to find the gold and all that. And there's such a strong message. And still older books I read, Ayn Rand. They are strong women-centric novels. And I think I remember two of them, what I had read, At Last Shrugged and Fountainhead. They were so famous at those times, and very strong themes about, the it's the quality that is more important. It is what you give out. The giving out the best is most important, and other things are how irrelevant. Very nice. I cherished all of them so much. And you may laugh that I also like comic books a lot. I read all comics. Even today I enjoy them. I like Flash, I like Marvel superheroes novels and movies, Harry Potter series. I like them all. And of course, I keep reading journals and all that, which is technical. Apart from that, I thoroughly enjoy such books, which have real, powerful messages to be handled. Allow them. Yeah.
I think it is very refreshing to see that you're also connected with current trends of Marvel Cinematic Universe or DC Comics. You are also connected with your culture that you mentioned about reading Kannada books, Sanskrit books, right? And you also obviously keep continuing to keep yourself in touch with the technologies, right? By reading those magazines. I think that is really great. And that is something that I want to be when I am at your age. And I want to be connected with all parts of life, all age groups of life. So I think that is one of the goals that I'm going to take away from this podcast. So I'm talking about entertainment. Were there any games that you enjoyed playing as a child or a kid growing up, or any games that you still play?
Of course, I play a lot of games, and I'm not good at sports, but still, my thing is whether I'm good or not, I try to do things. And I was quite a tomboy when I was young. That's what elders used to tell me. And I loved playing kabaddi, kho, and all kind of games, and just come home and throw your bag and just run out with friends. And we used to play all kinds of lagori. I don't know whether you know what is lagori. In Karnataka, we call lagori, with some stones kept on over there. There are a lot of physical activity games, and I also enjoyed indoor games a lot, like carom, chess, and all that. So even today, both me and my husband play a lot of games. In carom we play, and cards, and a lot of board games are there. We play not much of outdoor games. Yeah, we enjoy playing games with. We have some set of friends and relatives. We all join up and play a lot of games.
So, ma'am, like when you were growing up, did you have any siblings to play games with?
Oh yeah, we were four girls at home. We were four daughters to our parents. And yeah, we had a big team at home to play around, to learn from each other. It was a great environment. When you have siblings, you learn to share and care. And you also know how to be competitive, and you also know when to give a hit and how to take a hit. You will learn all that.
Been there, ma'am. I have done both of them. I had
Yes,
a 6 year older sister, and we used to fight like cats and dogs. But once
yes,
we grew up, we started taking care of each other. We knew what
yeah,
to do when someone of us is in problem. So I think
true.
apart from my parents, the only person that I can rely on is my sister.
Exactly.
It is
Today,
really
even at my age, we siblings are the strongest bond with four of us, and we have a gala time, and we are there for each other, just like rightly as you told, whatever problem we are there for each other. So, yeah, it was a great thing, and I'm really sorry that nowadays a lot of kids don't have siblings, and they miss out on things. Yeah.
That is definitely a true statement. I think if I didn't have a sister, I would have been definitely a very different person than I am right now.
Yeah. True.
Because the best part about being a sibling is that you can always ask them for extra cash. Because
Correct.
that's my most conversation, how it happens. I call my sister and I'm like, and she knows that why I have called. She's like, how much? And I'm like, please 5,000 send ASAP. So that is amazing to have a backup parent.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
True.
Kanya.
Ma'am, you have mentioned how like you have read books and that has shaped you, and at the same time, growing up with siblings that has shaped you to an extent. So it can be seen like a lot of outside experiences shape us, even like when we go into the professional field and we end up applying that. So, what would you say has been the biggest learning experience outside of your profession or space science, and that has impacted you both personally and professionally?
Correct. See, as you already rightly told, it's an environment which makes who we are, and I think I already mentioned. I think the greatest influences have been for the values in life. What I have are from our epics, and especially Bhagavad Gita. I'm just not telling because I'm an elderly person and I have to tell you people. Sometime you leave out all the the beliefs and customs, not important. You throw them out and just try to understand the concepts which teach you a lot in life, how to lead your life and how to face challenges in life, and what is right, the right is living. And it also helps in true character building. And you know it also gives you a sense of acceptance when you can't change things, which is very important for a good living and to do better in the future. So these things really impacted me, and a lot of books I read later and different viewpoints which they give out, the social injustice. You take Harper Lee's book, To Kill a Mockingbird. What a profound novel, and which tells you about social injustice, and you become sensitive about those things, what is right and what is wrong, right? So these things, good reading and good cultural background from family, good friends, good peers, they all shape you up, no doubt, to face life. And with your knowledge or without your knowledge, it's continuously happening all the time. Meeting you all today is going to influence me in some way, so it's important what kind of company we keep and what we do. Yeah, it does
Ma'am, I can
shape.
definitely, yes, ma'am. I can definitely relate to the novel, Harper Lee's novel, To Kill a Mockingbird. I remember studying it as a law student, and that has
Oh,
surely impacted me as how my career would like go on forward from that moment on. So I can deeply resonate with that, ma'am. And it's really inspiring to see that someone, it's not a thing about like someone from a generation who is way older than us has yet like faced similar things and we are, even though we are in different timelines, we've faced, read the same things, went through the same experiences, and that has shaped us. That's truly humbling, I think.
Yeah, but you also should know one thing when you told timeline, it looks so long when we are young that there's something, so much time is there. But the timelines are running so fast. Just imagine what happened 600 years back to now, to what is going to happen later. The times have moved so fast, right? So we thought we had time, but we did not have time. So it's a very precious commodity when we have it on our hands to do the best out of that. Yeah.
On a lighter note, ma'am, I personally do this thing. I have a cactus on my table and I call it cacti since it's always there in my sight, right? So humans in general have this like tendency to name things they are usually around inanimate objects. So have you ever given your satellites any quirky or fun names behind the scenes? I'm sure there will be like hidden gems like that.
No, actually, to think of it, we have it for the rockets, not for the satellites. A fat boy and naughty boy. That our LMV-3, the latest biggest rocket what we have. And is called the fat boy. And the GSLV Mark II was called the naughty boy because we had few failures earlier and it was not coming under control. So yeah, it happens. But satellites, we did not give names really because probably we lack some sense of humor or something. I don't know.
That's fun to hear, ma'am. Even in a serious line of work, there's always playfulness. I'm surely going with the
Yeah,
fat boy too.
yeah.
And I personally relate with the naughty boy. Always have been. Well,
So, ma'am, personally, like people ask us about what countries we want to visit, what places we would like to visit. Ma'am, if you could ever visit any planet or a celestial body in the universe, where would you go and why?
You know what? Anyway, it's totally imaginary. Okay, first of all, and even to Moon or Mars, I cannot go because of my age, and just purely imagining, and with all the Star Trek, sci-fi imaginations that go on, I would like to visit multiverse and see myself. What am I doing in all those universes? What were the different environments and what decisions I made in those environments? But at the same time, when I think of it, it's a paradox. I means who? Which of the I in the multiverse? I don't know. So multiverse is something I would really like to visit.
This just radiates Marvel universe. Ma'am, a lot of times there are some instances where we think about how we would have made different decisions in our past. So, if you could go back and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
If I met young Anuradha, I would tell, well done, keep doing what you're doing. You will be all right. I'll tell the same thing. I don't think there would be anything I would do differently because I think I've enjoyed every part of my life so far and I have no regrets. So I will tell young Anuradha to go ahead and do whatever she did at that time to continue doing.
That is so reassuring to just have someone to say that everything will be fine. You are doing good.
Yes.
okay, we will be now that we are heading towards the end of the session. We will have. I'll just like to ask one simple question. That would be the concluding question. Uske baad we will have a few questions from the audiences that are watching in the live, and then we will go with the conclusion. So, ma'am, there is one question that we always wanted to ask. Actually, there are two. Okay. So, how has India's space research landscape evolved from when you first joined it to the present? And where do you see ISRO in the next 5 years?
Do you have 1 hour? Well,
Okay, ma'am.
let me tell you in short. eh, I think you all should know, which is very something very closest to my heart, the strong purpose and the strong alliances which were built and the diplomacies which were very elegantly carried out, by the dreamer Vikram Sarabhai and subsequently Satish Dhawan, etc. And the clear-cut program paths they defined, that we are going to have indigenous launches, indigenous satellites for the technologies to be brought down to the common man, like remote sensing, communication, navigation, weather monitoring, disaster monitoring. All these programs were very well neatly defined, first and foremost, because the promise made at that time is that space technology, we are going to bring it down to common man to make it happen and improve the status of India and status of Indians. And that was the beginning. That is how it started. And as I told, the strategic alliances and the diplomacies which were carried out played a great role in the development of ISRO. Yeah, including our first small launch pad, sounding rocket launch pad, which was then at that time USSR and USA were in Cold War, but both were aiding us and both were there supporting us. And that platform, we even dedicated it to UNO for any country to come and launch. Those are the kind of diplomacies with which it ran. And it also gave the seeds of our today's indigenous development of vehicles, including our own indigenous cryo, and thinking of relaunchable vehicles, and a lot of things like man-rated vehicle on the vehicle side. And here on the satellite side, the programs ran so big that in the earlier days, we had to introduce the people to space technology. You do like this, your life will be better. But today, there is no department which does not use the space technology. And there is no individual, whether he knows or not, he'll be using the space technology today. It has come to that. And they've become hard customers that we had to multiply our activities like anything. We had to go to the launch, sessions, our programs, which would make nearly 10 to 12 projects per year. We had to do that with the resources, constrained resources. And with all that, we have done a lot of indigenous innovations that went on. And innovation, best example is our navigation satellites. Just with 7 satellites, we could bring indigenous navigation, and not only to us, 1,500 kilometers all around. The way the life of every person has improved in India is the growth of ISRO, story of growth of ISRO. And today we stand with lot of indigenization and self-reliance. I'm not telling that self-reliance is something very important to understand. Self-reliance comes when you are at a platform and you are able to shake hands with others. They are also able to take from us and we can take from them. That is self-reliance. We are standing there today. And from our soil, we have launched more than 400 foreign satellites using our rockets. Like we take our satellite for technical purposes to other places. They are also bringing to us. We have grown to such a state that entire world respects ISRO. That is the journey of ISRO, to tell you shortly what has happened. And today we are planning about space station, human space program is the ultimate of what one can dream really. And that is like a acid test for the space technology. We can take human being and bring back. And the soft landing on moon was a great achievement. And today ISRO is going for version 2.0. That is, we want to concentrate more on science and technology, while all the the day-to-day which have been established very well, like communication, remote sensing, navigation, all these should be taken by Indian industries. So that inclusiveness which has come, in fact they were all supporting already ISRO, and today the inclusiveness has gone further, bigger circumference, that they have to do end to end. So, and we are ready to give technology, we are ready to give all the facilities that we have, and we want India to flourish in the space program and be one of the continue to be one of the major spacefaring countries. So that is the story in a nutshell about ISRO, what I can say.
Okay, ma'am, definitely. And I I think we are getting a lot of questions from the audiences, but since we are a little short on time, I will be selecting some interesting ones. The first one is very interesting. Ma'am, Sampreet is asking, what's your take on time travel shown in the movies like Interstellar?
My take is it's very interesting, and I would like to do that. Yeah. So there are certain scientific concepts, which stemmed from the early 20th century, Einstein's theories and all that. So when they are extrapolated, these kind of highly imaginative things do happen. But to say yes, it is possible, to say it is not possible, both of them need a scientific background person to have enough proof of concept and enough knowledge and enough standards to say that it is possible. So whether it is possible or not, I cannot comment. I don't think I can comment on that. But a very interesting concept. Not only that, time travel, there's so many things like the wormhole concept, or the warp speed concepts. These are all fantastic, which have originated from theoretical predictions or theoretical possibilities which have been put forth by those great scientists and theorists. So it's something uh, we should not push aside anything. We should have an open mind and try to work on that if you're interested, and keep doing that, and one day maybe it comes true.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, we have another question. That is, Sanya Bharti is asking, if you could recruit any Marvel superhero to help with ISRO satellite missions, who would it be and why?
You are the
Oh my God.
superhero for us. You are the
Okay,
superhero.
ma'am, I'm down. I'm coming.
Yes. Common
All
people
right.
are the superheroes.
Um, Ma'am, Shipra is asking, you mentioned that courage is very important to you, especially in ISRO. You had to develop a nothing is impossible attitude. Ma'am, how do you sustain this attitude during the times of crisis?
I think we addressed this crisis or challenges, we addressed quite elaborately. So it is a conditioning of yourself to face the challenges. As a student, you have a challenge of exams, right? So how critical it is. I mean, as I told, it is a good preparation and background work which is most important to face any of those things. That is how we do lot of background hard work. It is not just when the rocket is launched and we all clap and go home. No, there is lot of perspiration behind that one event that happens. So it's hard work, perseverance, and preparation. That's what is important.
Okay, ma'am, this is the last question. As Rakshita is asking, as one of the leading women in space science, what are the most significant changes you have seen in the field over the course of your career, particularly regarding the role of women?
Yeah, role of women. Yes, I've seen a tremendous change, and today you see women in every field, whether it is technology or otherwise, science streams, technological streams. So many women are there, and there are enough role models. And while India is I always say this part of India has time traveled and part of India has stayed in the ancient times. So we coexist and live. While I feel very sorry about so many things, atrocious things happening within India with regard to women, there is other India, modern India, where women have a huge contribution that is going on. Today, nobody has to wonder as a woman how she can do this, as a woman how she can. There are umpteen number of role models and examples which have been set, and everyone knows anything can be done by women, no doubt. But we have to uh, also be aware that everything is not rosy, and within our own country we keep reading in the newspapers, and we can keep hearing the stories of sadness that is men and women not being treated equally and atrocities. And we all have to be aware of it. And we should not forget that such things exist. They do exist. And we have to give our might to make it disappear in this country. Right? So it's two Indias living together. Yeah.
All right.
Medieval India and
So
modern India.
definitely, ma'am. So now I think it's almost 5. So we will be going ahead with the conclusion. Yeshi, you want to continue?
You mentioned so many women role models, and one of them is you as well. We are truly inspired by everything you said today. So, thank you, ma'am, for taking us on this incredible orbit through your life and career. Your journey has truly been out of this world, and the insights you've shared have certainly launched some new perspectives for all of us.
Thank
For
you.
students across fields, your story reminds us that we should aim for the stars, knowing that persistence and passion, we can reach any height. You have shown us that whether in science or be it in any other field, we have all the potential to rocket past challenges and push boundaries. Thank you so much, ma'am, for that.
Thank
So,
you.
to our viewers, we hope this interview has ignited a spark within you to explore new frontiers in your own passions. As Anuradha ma'am has demonstrated, in a universe of endless possibilities, the sky is not the limit. It is just the beginning. So, until next time, when we meet again, let's carry this wisdom like a gentle refrain. Thank you so much for listening. We will see you soon under the stars or perhaps on the moon. Thank you for turning in to Coffee with Calliope Season 5, Episode 1. Stay determined and keep reaching for the new heights. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining us. It
Thank
was a privilege to host you in this first episode of Coffee with Calliope.
It was my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Also, ma'am, a small request before we end this. I want to take a selfie. I mean, we are not physically present here, but I want to take a photo of us in the meeting. I think I'm going to post to my friends and show off. Having us here. We, along with our whole university, are very thankful for you to join us.